Hello children, a big welcome to our channel Ammu&You, where Ammu tells you stories and you hear her, watch her and watch the story videos. Yes, Ammu loves narrating stories and I know that you love hearing them. And Ammu really feels very happy when she gets comments from you. Today, the story that I have brought for you is named The Postmaster, and it's been written by Gurudev Rabindra Nath Tagore. I'm sure you all know about him. If you don't, then he was the first Indian Nobel laureate to get the Nobel Prize for Literature. He got it for his collection of poems, which was named Gitanjali. Children, when you grow up, please read this amazing work of Gurudev. And you will see that why was this chosen for Nobel Prize. He has written many stories for children, for adults, poetry, plays, music, songs he has composed, and he was an excellent artist. He could draw and paint so well. So he was a multi-talented personality. And he wrote the national anthem for us. So let us see what the story, The Postmaster, tells us about the writer's imagination and creation. This is a story set in a small place called Ulapur, which was in West Bengal, and it had an indigo plantation. The indigo plantation was owned by a Britisher because that time India was under British rule, and it was the indigo plantation was owned by a Britisher who, after lots of efforts, could manage to get a post office opened at that place. It would help in his business, and that is why he had put in all that effort. And someone needed a postmaster for a post office, right? The postmaster was appointed from Calcutta, the head office, the postal department, and the postmaster who was living in Calcutta all this while was posted here at the post office of Ulapur. Now, this postmaster had all his life lived in Kolkata, in an urban surrounding. He had never lived in a village before, and Ulapur was a sort of a village, sort of not a complete, very backward village, but it was not a metropolitan town like Kolkata, and a big city like Kolkata. Now, the majority of the population was employees of the plantation who were all day were busy working, and at night they would just go and manage their house. So this young man from Kolkata, it was known Calcutta then. So this young man from Calcutta did not know what to do. There wasn't too much of business there. It was only the plantation, so there wasn't too much of work either that would occupy too much of his time. So he had lots of time. So he started to write poetry, he started to sing songs just to pass time. And he secretly wished if, for a few buildings here and there around him, instead of the huge cluster of trees that were all around. His salary was very meager, so he did all the cooking himself. But the other household chores were taken care by a little girl, an orphaned girl named Ratan. She had lost all her family a few years back, and she did the work of the house for the postmaster in return for a few frugal meals. Now, in the evenings when the crickets sang in the bushes and the smoke drifted from the cowsheds of the village because the cooking was starting, and the people of the indigo plantation, many of them would gather around a fire, and there would be drunken music. None of this that the postmaster was used to. He could not gel with them. He could not mix with them. He could not chat with them. And he was really, really bored. He would call out suddenly to Ratan, Ratan, what are you doing? Ratan would come running in because she would wait outside to be called by her master. Why, Babu? I am doing nothing. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to light the fire for the kitchen? Do you want to start cooking, Babu? No, 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 no. Don't do anything. Just come sit and let's chat. Ratan would just come and sit there. So, Ratan, do you remember your mother? Yes, I do. And no, I don't. Because I was very small when my father and mother passed away. And I remember my little brother more than I remember my mother and father because I used to play with him. Ratan would keep on talking about her play friends and her time that she remembered earlier. And our young postmaster would talk about his life in Calcutta. He would talk about his family, who all would stay there in his house, his mother, his father, his brother, his sister, and he would have so many things to narrate to little Ratan about them. Ratan would keep on listening to him, transfixed. She would love to hear these stories, and slowly, slowly, in her little mind, his family members became a family to him, to her as well. She started addressing them by the same addresses as the postmaster did in her mind. Oh, so you've got a letter from Ma, Babu? Now, Ma was our young postmaster's mother, but since he referred to her as Ma, she became Ma to our little Ratan as well. And our postmaster would not mind it at all. And they would spend hours talking, chatting. When suddenly, one day, Ratan realized that that postmaster's elder sister had become Didi for her, her younger sister, her younger brother had become Bhai for her, and she was uh, just a part of the family as much as Babu was. She called him Dada Babu. Earlier, she would address him as Babu, but then later, Babu became Dada Babu to her. One day, the postmaster said, Ratan, I want to teach you to read. And that's how her education started. She started very eagerly learning everything that the young postmaster had to teach her. And she grasped it very fast, hungrily. And soon she started reading words, sentences, and she became very, very happy. Postmaster was very amazed at her intelligence and diligence as well. Now, Postmaster was happy doing all this, but the back of his mind, he was craving to go back to Calcutta. He was not liking this place one bit. The whole day almost he would be spending with Ratan, or cooking, or sitting in that boring post office for some hours of the day. He was craving for company and he was missing his family. He had applied for transfers, but no one wanted to be posted in that small place. So every time he applied for a transfer, his transfer order was rejected. That made the postmaster very sad. One day, little Ratan was sitting outside. It was raining, she was eating a guava when suddenly she heard, "Ratan, where are you?" It was her Dada Babu calling from inside the house. It was a small room. Ratan rushed in and, to her shock, she saw Dada Babu lying on the bed with a blanket on. "What happened, Dada Babu? Why are you lying at this time?" "I'm not feeling too well, Ratan. I'm having a severe headache. Can you please press my head a bit?" "Yes, Dada Babu, sure." And Ratan went near Dada Babu, and as soon as she touched his forehead, she realized that he was running high fever. "Dada Babu, you have high fever. Just wait and lay still as I go and run and fetch the veggie." The veggie was the doctor there who was curing and treating patients with his herbs. She ran and fetched veggie. Veggie came and examined him and gave her instructions that how he should be eating, resting, and he gave her medicines to be given from time to time. He said, "Girl, he needs to be taken care of very well. Don't worry, Veggie. I will take care of him completely." And from that day, children, little Ratan became postmaster's mother. Why mother? Because when we fall ill, our mothers take care of us. Our elders take care of us and look after us, feed us, give us medicines, relieve us of our pain. And this is what Ratan was doing. She would sponge him, uh, she would press his head, his feet, give him medicines from time to time, never missed a single dose, would keep on feeding him little, whatever was good for him. And soon she nursed him back to health. The fever was gone, but it was more than 2 weeks. And those 2 weeks had made the postmaster very, very weak. As it is, he was feeling very lonely. Now, after this illness, he was absolutely desperate to return home. He did not want to stay there any longer. He had made up his mind. So, one day, from work, he came back in the evening and called Ratan and said, "Ratan, I am leaving this place." Ratan could understand. "Leaving this place, Dada Babu? What place?" "I am leaving Ulapur and I'm returning to Calcutta. I'm going home." "You're going home?" "Yes. My transfer orders are being rejected, so I have resigned from the post. And tomorrow, they are arranging for a new postmaster here. I can't stand living here anymore." "You won't come back, Dada Babu, or will you?" "No, I won't come back, Ratan. I don't want to live here. That is why I'm going away." Dada Babu, will you take me along? Ratan asked him in an impulse. Take you? And the postmaster laughed out. And that laughter went and pierced little Ratan's innocent heart. She ran out of the house, kept running as far as she could near the river under a tree, sat there howling. How could Dada Babu go away? What will happen to me? He never thought of me. He has no plans of taking me along. How can that be possible? He's my Dada Babu. How can he leave me back? She kept on crying. After being spent, a long time later, she returned home back to Dada Babu and carried on with the daily things that were supposed to be done. The postmaster saw her working, and to reassure her, he said, Ratan, don't worry. The new postmaster, I have heard, is a kind man. I will talk to him about you, and I will tell him how good a girl you are. You can keep working for him just as you work for me. No, Dada Babu, please. You will not talk to him about me at all. I do not want to work for him. I do not want to work for anybody. Please, Dada Babu, do not talk to him about him. Why, Ratan? Why won't you work for him? No, I will not. Dada Babu thought, probably it's just one of the moods. So he said, but Ratan, you are alone. You need someone to stay with. Dada Babu, please, you don't worry about me. And she was going out when the postmaster said, okay, fine, Ratan, if that is what you wish for. I'm planning to leave tomorrow morning itself. Ratan did not say anything. She just walked out. Next morning, the dawn broke. Our young postmaster was up. He had to go home, so he was excited. And there was a ferry at a specific time only that left for Calcutta. He had to catch that. So he had packed all his things the previous night. He just stepped out and he saw a bucket of water kept there, like every day. Now, children, Ulapur did not have taps running water. Everyone went and bathed in the river or ponds. But our young postmaster, being born and bred in a city like Calcutta, he was not used to having a bath in the open. So little Ratan would fetch a bucket of water for him every day, and he would bathe there in a covered place outside his small room. That morning also, Ratan had kept fresh water for him. He got ready, and while he was about to leave, he called out for Ratan. Ratan! Ratan came in softly. Ratan, it's time for me to go. I'll leave. And even if you have told me not to, I have spoken to the postmaster about you. Whenever you wish to, you can just come and speak to him, and he will happily let you be with him. Ratan did not say anything. She just kept looking down like this. The young postmaster put his hand inside the pocket and took out a bundle of notes, his salary. He kept some money for travel, just enough for travel, and the rest of the salary, he stretched it out, stretched his hand and said, Ratan, take this. This will see you through for quite some time. No, Dada Babu. Please don't give me money. I don't want money. But you need money, Ratan. You don't have money. No, Dada Babu, I cannot take money from you. Please. And she said this and she ran out crying. Dada Babu could do nothing. He left the house because he did not want to miss the ferry. He went, he sat on the ferry, and the scheduled time, the ferry left. When it reached almost at the middle of the river, the excitement of going home was calmed down a bit, and the young postmaster realized that visuals of little Ratan were flashing on his mind. They were coming and hitting him hard. He could see her sitting under a tree alone and crying. All those visuals of her coming and helping him, working for him, serving him, and studying with him, all those countless visuals kept flashing one after the other. And his heart started to weep for her. Did I do the right thing? Should I have taken her with me back to Calcutta? Should I have taken her to my family and she could have just become a part of it? Did I do the wrong thing by leaving her back? She has no one. She had only me. But how can I go back now? The ferry won't turn just because of one passenger. And then, like we all do children, he started consoling him with justifications. That I think I have done whatever best I could for her. I think this is her destiny. I think she's a bright child. She will find her way out. And who knows, we meet again. I wish her all the best. And with all these mixed thoughts and wishes, the postmaster kept moving towards Calcutta in the ferry. Now, children, this was such an emotional story. And many children have different questions. The beauty of a story is that it gives you the freedom to develop the story further the way you wish to. Now, what happened to Ratan was not written in the story. This story showed an innocent bond of love between Ratan and the young postmaster, and how Ratan, without her realizing, made the young postmaster her family that was never there. These emotions are in our life all the time. So many emotions. They play at different levels. I hope you've liked the story. Read about it whenever you get a chance. It's a beautiful, sweet story. The Postmaster by Gurudev Rabindra Nath Tagore. If you like the story, you can like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, comment, put a comment if you wish to, and be good. Thank you for watching. Until I meet again with another story. Bye-bye from me.